All right. Shout out to mighty Who Dat Nation, Big Q representing the Sports Coma up in this thing. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share your show on social media feed. Hit the hype button and hype us up, man, on our march to 15,000 plus. We in the building, man. And this one, man, we're going to talk about Tyler Shough being a breakout candidate. According to NOLA.com, they covered the article if you want to check it out. Shout out to FanDuel, the official sponsor of the show. The show is brought to you by FanDuel, man. And later on in the broadcast, we'll get into some of the MVP, season MVP, in terms of bets. As you can see, we'll cover that more in the broadcast. But first and foremost, let's jump right into this article right here. Tyler Shough is a clear breakout candidate for the Saints to keep an eye out on others too. So this is one of the articles here that they covered. And basically what it is just a boil down and breakdown of the New Orleans Saints quarterback and what it means for him coming into the season. And I know a lot of people out there, there's some haters on the Shuckinator, man. But listen, man, the guy has captured the imagination of the Who Dat Nation, working his ass off, his temperament, love what kind of quarterback mentality, mindset. The team has a chip on its shoulder. And it's pretty resounding, man, but kind of chokes you up because, yeah, Drew Brees here, one of our favorites, man. But in the words of T.O., man,
it's my quarterback. It's my quarterback.
He ain't lying.
All right. So anyway, let's get into the article. Be over exaggerated to say the New Orleans Saints' chances of next season starting to end with the Shuckinator, but not by much. Yes, the same could be said about every starting quarterback in the NFL, and the idea has become cliche for a good reason. But at the risk of relying on the tired tropes, the Saints are banking on the Shuckinator to carry them through in 2026. And the second-year signal caller has more than embraced his responsibility with the team, from organizing workouts with teammates in the off hours to taking more of a leadership role. Shough understands the weight the job entails. For the Saints to snap a 5-year playoff drought, the 26-year-old will have to build on his electric rookie campaign and then some. So, Shough said, I've been able to learn over time, just be yourself. To be a good leader, you have to serve others and you have to develop those relationships. You have to serve others. This is true. That said, Shough isn't this alone. He and the Saints would likely point out the results rarely come down to just one player. And so as much as the Saints are counting on their quarterback's growth this coming fall, there are a handful of others who could also be on the verge of taking their games to the next level. Right? So these are the Saints breakout candidates for the 2026, the Shuckinator included. So QB Tyler Shough, as much as promised, Shough showed as a rookie, he's not yet regarded as one of the NFL's premier throwers. That has a chance to change the season. So what has to unfold for this to happen? For one, the Shuckinator has to cut down on his sack rate. The former second rounder was taken down almost 9% of the dropbacks last season, according to PFF, charted 9 of 31 sacks at the quarterback's fault. Well, I don't know how much true that is because of we was dealing with an injured offensive line and poor offensive line play for certain people. But nonetheless, he did escape a couple of times, more than a couple. The Saints have taken steps to help Shough in this regard. They prioritize adding veteran guard David Edwards and running back Travis Etienne in free agency to bolster the running game. And even if the Saints can generate more consistency on the ground, that would ideally put Shough in a fewer, less obvious passing situations, which would then make it harder for these defenses to get after the quarterback. Right? Good comment. But some of the responsibility also falls on Shough. He has talked often this offseason about improving his footwork and speeding up his progressions. That's beautiful. If that happens, watch out, because Shough's best traits as a rookie was arguably his aggressiveness and ability to needle the ball into tight windows. He was statistically one of the league's best on third down. And if Shough can maintain the aggressiveness while cutting down on his negative plays, then the Saints offense really has the potential to cook. And this is well said because uh, early on when Shough stepped in there, his progressions weren't where they're supposed to be, and that's the first time he's doing it. He had to get kind of used to the speed of the game, and you could see that happen over time, right? He held on to the ball at times a little longer than what I wanted for him to do, and I also wanted Shough to, if he, go through his progressions, and if he don't see what he, see something that he likes, either take off and slide for something or throw the ball away to avoid taking a hit. You see what I'm saying? So he even admitted as much as that. I got to stop holding on to the ball so much and just be smarter with it. And he admitted these things, and credit to him, because that's a big chunk of him improving his game, because he has this capability. He has that first step. He can take off. And it's one of the things I think it's not going to fool anybody about the Saints offense per se, because you have the Shuckinator in there. He could throw the ball up the field. He also can take off at any moment. So he's a dual threat. So at some point, him running this year, you want him to kind of be careful of that, because you don't want to get hurt on a run, but he's done a really wonderful job of taking off and then sliding when he needs to, or stretching out when he needs to, diving when he needs to, and this sort of thing. So he's only going to improve with that. But yes, definitely the running attack has to be there. The blocking schemes have to be there. The offensive line has to play a lot better for him to have that measured success that we think that he can take the step at 26 in the season. All right, next player, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Kool-Aid has already changed his number more times forward than he's played in seasons 2, but the Alabama product is back wearing number 1, the same number he became a bona fide star in college, and he raced an entire side of the field. Will this be the year he earns that reputation as a shutdown corner in the NFL? He has work to do for that to happen. According to PFF, McKinstry allowed the 7th most yards, which is 676 among cornerbacks last season. He was getting cooked out there. But it wasn't all bad. Kool-Aid allowed a passer rating of 101.1 on those plays, which ranks 74th. He also recorded 3 picks, 12 pass breakups, and made some disruptive plays at times. Now, this is a pivotal season for McKinstry. With Alontae Taylor going in free agency, McKinstry is unquestionably now the Saints' number 1 cornerback. And in the third year of a 4-year contract, McKinstry's performance next season can go a long way in determining the value of extension talks commencing after the season with. So, yes, remember, he's a first-round draft pick, so he does have the 5th-year option. So the Saints do have a longer runway in terms of Kool-Aid McKinstry. But in the end, what I see from Kool-Aid is that, yes, indeed, it's time to step up. He really got cooked last year. He performed better toward the back end of the year, but we need Kool-Aid to be really more stable in that Staley offense. So hopefully the pass rush can help him out as well. You see what I'm saying? And of course, we go to Kelvin Banks Jr., the offensive tackle. If not for an ankle injury that carted him off early in the season's finale, Banks would have likely led all rookies in snaps last season. He still finished 3rd with over 1,000. No player on the Saints roster arguably benefited more than their playing time. Banks demonstrated tremendous growth as the rookie season progressed, as the first-round tackle went from allowing 28 pressures in his first 8 games to 18 in his final 9. So Banks increasingly found ways to use that 6'5", 315-pound frame and his athleticism to dominate his matchup. So the next natural step for the 22-year-old would be to generate more consistency so he can be viewed among the best at his position. Now, the rookies that play early like that usually take a pretty big jump from year 1 to year 2, according to Brendan Nugent, the offensive line coach for the Saints. He's on that path. Everything I've seen here from the offseason program, he figured it out what worked and what we needed to tweak, and he's worked on it. We've worked on it, and he keeps getting better. That's what Coach Nugent says about Kelvin Banks, and he'll be healthy and ready to go when things matter. Defensive end Chase Young is on this list, 20 sacks. That's what Cam Jordan said he thought Young was capable of next. And for the first time since Young's rookie season, the possibility didn't feel absurd. Young, after all, racked up 10 sacks in 12 games last year. That's not quite the 20-sack pace, but Young made his presence felt as a pass rusher last year, notably Young started turning pressures into sacks, finally reaching the double digits as a pro, right? Admittedly, 20 sacks is a hard threshold to reach. Myles Garrett, TJ Watt are the only rushers in the last 5 years to hit the mark, and those two are seen as two of the best in today's game. But for 2025 was already a revelation for Young, and still only 27 years old. Another breakout season could be in store. With Cam coming back, Chase Young doing his thing, Carl Granderson is a big key to this too, because Carl has to step up and provide pressure on the other side. What Chase Young will see less double teams, right? So we need pressure from all sides. But Chase Young, 20 sacks, that'll be something interesting. I can't tell you if ever there was, I don't think in Saints history, the Saints ever had a 20 sack season from a player in all of the years. Hold on, let me look it up in the rule book. I mean, in the history book here. Yeah, to my knowledge, I've never known that to happen in Saints history. So I would say no to that, you know. But the highest mark, because I'm looking it up now, no Saint ever, that would be a record year, but no Saint ever had a 20 sack season. But they had some guys came close. The single season franchise record for the most sacks is 17, a mark shared by two players. Back in 2000, it was the great Leroy Glover, and Pat Swilling did it in 1991. So those are the two highest right there to ever get 20, to get close to it. 17 by Leroy in 2000, and Pat Swilling in 1991. They both matched 17th. So if he can get 20 sack season and stay healthy, that would be tremendous, to be honest with you. Next on the list, safety Jonas Sanker. It might seem lazy to put a third member of last year's draft class on his list, but hear us out. The Saints have big plans for Sanker in 2026. They're trusting him to replace Taylor at the star. Defensive coordinator Brandon Staley's version of an inside cornerback. Staley or Sanker earned the role after surprising season, which he proved to be reliable following the season-ending injury to Julian Blackmon. Safety coach Terry Joseph said Sanker displayed a mental toughness that will serve the 23-year-old as he adapts to a new position. I think it's really hard to evaluate off of college film that these guys play the star. Joseph said, I think you got to get him in your organization and your building, and you got to really get a feel for what the guy is mentally, how tough he is, and how much can he handle, because that's a lot on the plate of a star player. So that's what he said. And Jonas Sanker has been occupying that position. Julian Blackmon re-signed with the Saints again on another 1-year prove-it deal. He was phenomenal in preseason, in training camp, leading up to it. He was set to start next to Justin Reed. He got hurt before, in week 1 leading into it, I think it was. And ultimately, he was done for the year. So the Saints brought him back. He's healthy now. And they say Julian Blackmon and Reed in the backfield, and Sanker, who occupied the position, can move to that spot. So we know that Sanker has a good 40 time. He's a good physical tackle, and he'll be called upon to cover guys out of the backfield, tight ends, whatever they need him to do, the blitz and go in there and get players too. But right now, Sanker is leading the star position, followed by guys like Jordan Howden and Styles and a few other people that they're throwing in there to test. And we'll continue to see the maturation as we get into training camp with some of these guys. So that's some of the players to talk about that we're making mention of in this broadcast. Title Tyler Shough is clear breakout candidate for the Saints, and keep an eye on the others too. So yes, indeed, can the Shough break free? And a lot of people don't want to put too much on Tyler Shough right now. That's why you see Mickey Loomis and others go about the business of doing what they're doing and taking and building around them. Travis Etienne, adding Jordan Tyson, adding Bryce Lance, Barrion Brown, stretch out Oscar Delp, bringing in David Edwards to do there, putting pressure on Cesar Ruiz, drafting a Jeremiah Wright and bringing him in, bringing Cam back to help out the defense, bringing in Caden Ellis, and so on and so forth, and relying on these two classes, because the Saints' two draft classes have been really, the first class has been really instrumental to helping the team and turn around, because a lot of those players right now are having pretty good roles on the team. And now we'll see what our new rookies could do. And the Saints drafting well over the last two drafts will benefit Tyler Shough. So this is going to be interesting to see how it goes for the Saints moving into it. What do you guys think about it, man? Do you agree with the candidates that was presented to you? You guys, please let me know in the chat. Also, shout out to FanDuel, the official sponsor of the show. This is the 2026 regular season MVP numbers. You can see Josh Allen leads it, plus 600. Lamar Jackson at 750. Drake May at 850. You see the rest: Joe Burrow, Matt Stafford, Justin Herbert, Pat Mahomes boys, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, and others. The list goes on. What do you think about these numbers, man? Get in on at the draft at Sportsbook at FanDuel Sportsbook, and get your bets in on that regular season MVP. These are some of the numbers right here. And I think this is definitely going to change once the Shuckinator gets going, man. He's going to turn the whole once the Shuckinator gets involved, baby, these numbers, he going to change the game right here. So anyway, with that being said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Hype the stream, the Sports Coma in here, representing the mighty Who Dat Nation. We appreciate you so much. Shout out to our Patreon and YouTube membership family. And hit the subscribe button, fam. Hit that subscribe button as our race to 15,000+, man. We're close. And we thank you for helping us out with that. So with that being said, I'm going to catch you on the next one. Much love, peace, and Who Dat too.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with thewhodatdaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit thewhodatdaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.